Hello friends and followers, welcome back. What a beautiful day today outside. I hope you're enjoying this day. Enjoying also for me, because unfortunately I cannot be out yet enjoying these summer hot days because my leg is still recovering from my fracture, and for another month at least I will be pretty much the way I am. Eventually in September I should be able to start my physiotherapy. So for now, I just enjoying some home-based pastimes. I'm pretty actually happy today because I'm almost finished to read the first chapter of Final Fantasy: The Lost Ranger. This is a manga I've been reading recently, and I don't know how familiar you are with Final Fantasy. It's my favorite video game, along with Tony Hawk's franchise, and I've been playing with all the Final Fantasy chapters since they came out in the late 80s. With Nintendos and Super Nintendo, and then eventually PlayStation's consoles. And Final Fantasy is not just a video game, it's also like some comic books, some graphic novels, and a few cartoons, and there's a movie. Yeah, so it's been around for a long time. It's pretty cool. It's just one of those typical fantasy adventure, and yeah, if you like elves, magicians, and sorcerers and knights, medieval and mixed with steampunk atmosphere. So this is what Final Fantasy is, and yeah, it's something pretty cool. So anyway, this is chapter 1, and there are, for this mini saga, a total of 4 volumes. So I'm going to purchase the next chapter in a few days. I'm going to order online. And yeah, so it's pretty cool. I have also an energy drink here because I need some energy. And what we have here today, we have a retro vibe. It's a Celsius special edition. Let's see what it tastes like. I love energy drinks. Pretty nice actually. Yeah, oh yeah, this is actually very nice. I love energy drinks also because, fun facts, I don't drink alcohol, I'm very healthy, but I love coffee and energy drinks. But anyway, so let's go ahead into the video because I have a cool unboxing today. This is what I want to talk about today. And I have something that is, in my opinion, a piece of history of modern skateboarding. For modern skateboarding, I mean anything between the year 2000 up to these days, so the past 26 years. So this board, it's a Birdhouse board. So let's open the board, I'll show you the board, and I want to talk about the board for a little bit better. And for the ones who've been around for a bit, probably know and remember this board, and who originally this board was for, and the first rider of this board, of this very same graphic. Let's go ahead with today's board, and let's see what we have. We have some paper to keep the board nice and safe, some more paper, then we have a sheet of grip tape. So this time I have it's the blank grip tape, black grip tape, and I believe is manufactured by Jessup. I say so because I already explained in one of my previous videos. I once contacted Jessup customer service, and the reason is because once I bought some grip tape from a store, but they sent me a blank grip tape like this. So, but it was advertised as Jessup grip tape. So I thought like, let's contact Jessup customer service and see if they partner with the very same store, to find out if the store sent me a fake product. So they explained me that it's not a fake product, it's a Jessup, and they said, yeah, we partner with the store, but we provide to for store grip tape, we provide the blank So it doesn't have any, I guess because it might be a little bit cheaper, but it doesn't have the Jessup brand logo, but yet it is a Jessup product. So I believe all these blank grip tapes that you buy from the store are probably Jessup. And then when I touch them, they feel pretty similar to Jessup. But anyway, it's grip tape, they're all the same. Well, let's go ahead with the board. Let's take it out of the box. The board is here. Also, they probably not, but it might be. They listened to my last video, and I don't like the green top veneer, right? So I mentioned that on my last video, and for what I see from here, this time they haven't sent me a green top veneer, because the last time with the Bar Margera board they sent me a green top veneer, but today they sent me a yellow top veneer, which is actually one of my favorite colors for a top veneer. So I have my favorite top veneer, yellow graphic with the Birdhouse logo graphic on top. And the reason why I like yellow, pink, like blue, but baby blue, or like any sort of neon color, it has to be very bright. I already said why. It's because I like the colorful, bright line all around my grip tape. Let's reveal the graphics, super cool. Let's reveal the board now. So the board is here, just this one. This is the rabbit skull, or also just known as the rabbit. So it's the rabbit skull. It's basically, this is made for Tom Schaar, but Tom Schaar, which is a Olympic Games champion in skateboarding, and he was obviously in a United States team in skateboarding Olympic Games, and he rides for Birdhouse. Is one of the new riders of Birdhouse. But this board originally, so this is the Tom Schaar version, right? So this has been made for Tom Schaar. But originally this board was made for the very first time for Brian Sumner.
Glory to the Lamb, glory, hallelujah, glory to the Lamb, glory, hallelujah.
Brian Sumner, that's why I bought the board, because I'm a great fan of Brian Sumner, and also Brian Sumner was one of those skateboarders who was around when I started skating, and he was also one of those skateboarders who inspired me the most in the early 2000s. Even though when I started skating, he was about to get retired already, because he moved from England. He's originally from Liverpool, and he moved from England pretty much at the same time when Jeff Rowley moved to the United States. They both moved to California, and so he became pro for the very first time with Birdhouse. So Tony Hawk gave him a sponsor, and I think he also found probably other sponsor. I think was Lakai shoes or something like that. There was some shoes, and I can't remember right now which one was. So he had some good sponsors, and but the main one was Birdhouse. And as soon as seen the board, this is from the new collection, Autumn 26, in the Birdhouse website, among the new boards, the new catalog. They are already available. I like the graphics so much. I really dig this graphic. This graphics so super cool. It's sick. It's super cool. One of the coolest graphic ever, which also is obviously we know what this is. It's It's not simply a rabbit school. It's basically inspired by Donnie Darko, the movie, and that's one of my favorite movies too. And yeah, so it's kind of creepy as well. So it's kind of cool. Also, there is a one that's my real favorite graphic. Also, Birdhouse board from the early 2000s. It's Willie Santos board. Willie Santos also doesn't skate anymore for Birdhouse. Willie Santos used to be probably my top favorite skateboarders back in the early 2000s. I used to be very inspired by his style. And Willie Santos, I used to have that board. Featured the like sort of like zombie scary face holding the big scissors, and I think it's called scissors. I think the graphic is called scissors. Um, um, and that's a graphic that used to be, it's very rare, it's hard to find. I've seen that recently somebody was selling it on eBay, was located in Japan, was a Japanese seller, sell it for, it was like thousands of dollars. But I've seen that it's not available anymore, so somebody must have purchased that board. And that's a collectible anyway, because the board is from 2004, and the graphic is super cool. I hope eventually, anytime soon, Birdhouse might consider to do a second run of that graphic, even for one of the new riders, like they did with this board. Because this board, to me, it's more Brian Sumner board rather than Tom Schaar board. Obviously, it's both because they're both pro models, but they share the same graphic. But this graphic originally was for Brian Sumner. So in my head, it's more like a Brian Sumner board, which is being lent to Tom Schaar. And I wish they do the same thing with that board, with Willie Santos board. They might reissue the graphic, doing a second run, like a repress, a second press, but even with a different rider. My favorite rider for Birdhouse at the moment is Grayson Fletcher. So I hope they might do that board for Grayson Fletcher. That would be super cool, super perfect. And yeah, because I really would like to have the board again. I was super attached to that board. I snapped the board, and it became soggy, and eventually I snapped it. I didn't even snap in the middle. It just snapped pretty much here on nose, and yeah, like a big crack. It was not really fully snapped. It just had a big crack on the nose, and I remember that I hung it against the wall in my bedroom when I was in my 20s. But that was a very long time ago, because we are talking about already 20 plus years ago. And it was like 22 years ago. And that was back in Italy, because I used to live in Italy. Also, I want to mention this thing about Brian Sumner. Brian Sumner is English. He's a British skateboarder who moved from England to the United States. And I have also lived in England for a very long time. I lived in England for about 13 years. And so that's why I also appreciate Brian Sumner. Plus, Brian Sumner decided to quit his career as a skateboarder. He quit Birdhouse, he quit all the sponsors. And you know why? Because he became a pastor, because he's a huge Christian evangelical devotee, and he's one of those evangelics who travel spreading the message of Jesus. So his church, his actual church, he actually has a church which is especially focused and designated in youth, especially like skateboarders, and that's kind of cool. And this in Huntington Beach. Yeah, so shout out to Brian Sumner. which I also follow, and there are some cool old videos, and I also like his speech. Likewise, Jamie Thomas, and a few more Christian skateboarders out there. We share the same path, the same beliefs, and nothing but a message of love, really. That's why I really appreciate these skateboarders that are also actively involved in Christianity, because I believe it's a nice, good message. And yeah, so anyway, this is a Birdhouse 2026 fall series. Tom Schaar Rabbit, but originally Brian Sumner School Rabbit. Birdhouse board. So dimensions, it's 8 and 38. So it's basically almost 8.5. It's 840 basically. I don't know why they do 838 and no 840. Which basically makes no difference. And definitely wider than the Brian Sumner board, because Brian Sumner board was, I believe, like probably 7.5 or maybe 760, 775, something like that. Anything below 8 for sure, because for the ones who've been around for a bit know that back in early 2000s, no board was, in street skateboarding, no board was anything above 8 inches. If you add an 8-inch board, you already were considered like a big boy with a big board. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this unboxing and this morning spent with me for a few minutes. I'm gonna finish my energy drink, and I wish you have a beautiful day. Please comment down below on the comment section if you like the board, what you think about Birdhouse, and whatever you'd like to say. So anyway, write down below in the comments whatever you think you see about this board, and about Birdhouse, and if you know something related to old graphics you like, and old skaters. And yeah, so I hope you're having a beautiful day, and yeah, that's all for today. Have a good one. Catch you soon.